So let's just start with your pick of the week this week, and this is, I believe, this is a new name that is new to me. I'm not sure if we've covered on the show, but you said it's a perfect time to put together a trade plan for Center Point Energy, ticker symbol CNP. And why exactly do you feel that way, AJ?
Well, okay, so this is one of those. Let me tell you about the company. The company is mostly a power transmission company, not just electrical power, but they also, I think, maintain some natural gas lines. So they're not the natural gas producer or the electricity producer, but they get it from point A to point B. So they've got a lot of infrastructure. They're probably positioned well to get some money from the latest government spending on rebuilding infrastructure. So over the next years, they may see some influx in money to, update the grid. And so I think they do have some electrical generation in like some Midwest states, but it's a very small component of their portfolio. All to say, if what I just said to you sounds boring, it is. And that's why we want to sell premium on it. You can tell investors think that this is a boring company too. I'm looking at a year-long chart and you can see that there's really been no asset appreciation. The stock price really hasn't gone up. It's just gone in this sideways choppy pattern between about $28 and $31. And that's okay because we have option strategies that we can leg into that can profit off of this sideways chop. Plus, this company gives a really nice dividend, 19 cents per share every quarter. And so the investors who buy this stock, they're probably not pushing on the board of directors of the company to make their stock price go up because they're fat, dumb, and happy making money off of the dividend. So this is a perfect type of stock for our premium selling strategy. Now, we can tell, like I said, that there's a level of perhaps resistance around this $28 range and support around the 31. I might have gotten those two words confused. Usually supports at the bottom, resistance is at the top. And we're right in the middle of that zone right now. And that is what I teach my program participants is the best time to plan out your long-term premium trade on this underlying symbol. So that's why I wanted to feature this because now is when you do that front end analysis. Now is when you do your planning and you figure out what your price targets, what's going to trigger you to leg into the various positions that's going to make this into an income generator. So we're coming down across the center of the channel. Like I said, this is the best time when you're in the center of the channel of a sideways choppy channel. This is when you can calculate what the worst trade is. The worst trade would be if you sold premium on this when it's in the center of the channel rather than legging into the positions on the opposite side. So we can actually do the analysis on what a trade place right here and now would do, and that would be your worst case scenario. We could say that would be the best reward we would get, and that would be the highest risk we would take on, and we can size our position accordingly based on those numbers. But then we can also say we don't want to create that worst case scenario, so we want to make sure that when we're doing the one leg of our transaction, our underlying symbol is below that price. And when we're doing the opposite leg of that scenario, that our underlying symbol is above that price. And by creating those price targets for ourselves and creating whatever we're going to use to determine when the tops and bottoms are found, that's the planning we need because then you've got this plan written down, whether it's written down on a piece of paper or on your hand or on a computer document, and you can just check in with the stock every evening. And when it's doing what you planned it to do, we always hear this term, SIP, plan your trade and then trade your plan. Now is when we want to plan our trade on CNP so that in the next days over the month of August, September, October, November, we just have to execute our plan. So I would recommend that people spend the weekend planning their premium selling trade and how they're going to leg in and what size position they're going to create on this, because this is a great underlying symbol for that. And this is also a great time to do that planning process so you can leg in accordingly.